Hello and welcome back to my channel. I'm the Rational Gooner and this is my preview of Leverkusen versus Arsenal in the round of 16 of the Champions League 2025-26 season. So we're about just over an hour before kickoff and I haven't seen the team news yet, but it looks as if Arsenal are going to make wholesale changes from the team that played against Mansfield on Saturday. The Leverkusen team looks like it's going to be quite similar to most of the Champions League games that they've already played this season. Just looking back through their fixtures, they've had a bit of a mixed bag of results leading up to this game against Arsenal. I think their most notable victory was a 3-0 home win against Villarreal. And having lost to Olympiacos in the group stages of the Champions League, in the league stage of the Champions League, they drew them in the playoffs and ended up winning 2-0 at Olympiacos with a 0-0 following at home, meaning they won 2-0 on aggregate. Against English opposition, famously they won at Manchester City 2-0 this season. They also got a 2-2 draw at home to Newcastle. But the reason I say mixed bag is because they also lost 7-2 at home to Paris Saint-Germain. So they can be got at. They're not one of the stronger teams in the draw. They're not the Leverkusen of a couple of years ago when Xabi Alonso was their manager and they ended up going unbeaten all season in the Bundesliga. But they're still a threat and they still have some good players. So Arsenal, they'll need to go into this game professional. My prediction for the game, I think it's going to be quite tight. I don't think it's going to be a high-scoring game. If it is, I can't see Arsenal conceding too many. Even though we're away from home, I just feel like we're just that strong. And with players that have had a week off, like Saliba and Gabriel, it just looks like it's set up as a tie for Arsenal to get through quite comfortably. But it's the Champions League and anything can happen. It's a big occasion for those Leverkusen players. I know they've played some big teams already, but this is the round of 16. This is the business end of the season, and this is where it counts and this is where it matters. So it doesn't matter what Arsenal did in the league stages of the competition now, because what they did do has meant that they got a favourable draw. Winning every single game, you should get a favourable draw to the round of 16, and then onwards in the tournament. It does look like our path to the final, should we get through these stages, looks more favourable than the other side of the draw. But every team should be respected, and every team should you should go into every game with that kind of mentality that, you know, we need to control the game and win the game. But this is the Champions League and any team can win against anyone, just like in the Premier League, any team can beat anyone on their day. So cautionary tale for that. I don't think Arsenal should be too worried as far as Arsenal fans are concerned. The players, they've got to do their job. And we saw last night where Liverpool went away to Galatasaray and came away empty-handed. They have a bit of an uphill struggle to get through now at home, but I still think they will. I still think that they're in a good position to beat Galatasaray after being 1-0 after their 1-0 defeat in Istanbul. Spurs, I think they might well need to just concentrate on staying in the Premier League now. That result on in a really tough stadium against Atletico Madrid was it's a wake-up call for them. I don't really know what their manager's doing, Igor Tudor, but I don't like talking about Spurs, especially on an Arsenal page. Let's wait until the end of the season, and then I can either have a good laugh about it, or we can talk about the Great Escape, I suppose. I don't know. I mean, they're still a point above relegation, so it's still in their hands to stay up. But a team of that size, those types of players, they should never be anywhere near the relegation zone. So it is a bit of a shambles over there, and as an Arsenal fan, it's hilarious, but I want to see what we do first before I then start taking the mick out of other teams. So, yeah, Leverkusen. And then, obviously, Newcastle last night played against Barcelona at home and came away with a decent 1-1. I don't know how they're feeling this morning about it, because they ended up conceding a penalty in the dying embers of the game, which meant that Barcelona went back to the new camp and taking Newcastle back on terms. But, they can't. I mean, if you'd have given them 1-1 at kickoff, they would have bit your arm off. So, it does feel like a defeat. I understand that. And when you concede that late. But they scored late as well. Harvey Barnes' goal was 4 minutes from time. So they thought they'd won the game. Barcelona then had other ideas. And it's, It's a good result at the end of the day. They didn't lose the game. They haven't disgraced themselves. They're going to go to the new camp now. The slate's clean. It's not the Barcelona of 2012. Sorry, it's not the Barcelona that we all remember. But they do have some pretty decent players. Lamine Yamal being the standout star in that team. Back to our game then. Predictions. I'm stalling a bit because I'm just waiting to see if they're going to come out with the team news before I go, but I haven't seen anything on the Arsenal website as yet. But I do predict that Raya will start. We'll end up with a pretty familiar looking back four of Timber, Gabriel, Saliba, and Hincapié. I think the midfield should pick itself. It should be whoever's available and not injured or suspended. So that would be Zubimendi, Rice and Eze. And the three in front of those, across from the right, should be Saka, Gyökeres and Martinelli. But I think Trossard coming off injured halfway through the first half in the Mansfield game might be the reason why Martinelli should start tonight. But I wouldn't be surprised if Trossard is fit, that he does start ahead of Martinelli. I also wouldn't be surprised if Eze makes way for Havertz in the midfield. That would be quite an exciting partnership there between Gyökeres and Havertz to see how that gels, because since Havertz had come back from injury, that did seem to look good when they did play together. So, yeah, that's my prediction. That's what I reckon the team will be. I'm hoping that the team news comes out just before I go, so I can just confirm who will start. But we'll see. We'll see if I'm right, in less than an hour. Thanks very much for joining me. Please remember to like and subscribe, and let's get this conversation going. I might put another little post out later on today, but until then, let's hope we can get a good result today and take them back to the Emirates with a positive scoreline. Thanks a lot. Take care. Bye-bye.